shape crosses the light and drags the man under. The diver who goes after him gets close enough to see its hand, and there are letters tattooed across the knuckles. Whatever lives in this cave didn't start out as an animal. Something down here is changing them into what they are now. And the crew that came to study the cave doesn't realize that one of them has already begun to change. 8 of them go down into the flooded dark under an old Romanian abbey, chasing a cave no one has ever mapped to the bottom. Their scout has gone quiet somewhere downriver. They push deeper to reach him, because turning back means leaving him. And something takes another diver off his scooter and pulls him into the black. The scooter slams the wall, the ceiling drops behind them, and the way back out is gone. The mountain has done this before. 30 years ago, another crew cut its way into this system from the abbey above, and the rock came down behind them the same way. Nobody found a route back in, and nobody found them. Now, 30 years later, the new crew has to wait 12 days for a rescue team. One exit is blocked, and the river is the only way out. So the crew does the one thing the cave allows and follows the water down. This isn't a cave the way a tourist means the word. It's a drowned system of tunnels and drops, much of it flooded and underwater, cold enough to kill a person in minutes on its own. Every stretch forward is a dive into black water, with no promise of air on the far side. The crew moves through it, roped in a line, trusting a map that runs out where the known cave ends. Nobody has ever been past that point and returned. Back at the start of the dive, the scout had gone ahead to find the next camp. His camera feed cut out, and the others told themselves it was the gear. It wasn't the gear. When they catch up to him downriver, he's alive, and he's seen something he can't put into words. Minutes later, the river proves him right. The thing that hits the sonar man moves too fast to see, and it's gone with him before anyone can put a light on it. That's when the ceiling comes down and the math changes. The 2 who hold the crew together are the brothers who built it, Jack and Tyler. Jack leads from the front and takes the hardest risks himself, which is why the others follow him without arguing. Tyler covers for his brother out of habit and love. The scientists who hired them, Nikolai and his second, Catherine, came for a prize instead of a fight. Nikolai wanted an ecosystem sealed off from the world long enough to grow its own rules. Now that prize is the thing thinning out his crew. So Catherine starts cutting samples from everything alive down here, and every sample is wrong in the same way. A parasite runs through all of it. The same organism in the blind fish, the pale insects, the shapes in the walls. Then she works out what it means. The animals in this cave didn't just adapt to the dark over long centuries. This parasite built them, and it has never once touched the surface. None of this is academic anymore. If the parasite shaped every animal down here, it can shape the crew. 12 days isn't a wait for rescue anymore. It's 12 days for the parasite to work on them. Nobody is going to reach them in time. They need to be their own rescue team. Then the thing that took the sonar man comes back, and this time it reaches Jack. It lays his forearm open before he saws through its claw and breaks loose. He waves the wound off and keeps moving. When Catherine puts the severed claw under her lens, she finds the same parasite riding inside it. Now the parasite is in Jack, and she doesn't tell him yet because she isn't sure what it does to a man. The attacks aren't random either. The creatures hit the crew at the water, in the dark, at the moments they can't fight back, then pull back before anyone can fight. These aren't random attacks. The creatures wait, then pick their moment. That isn't how animals hunt. Something down here is choosing who dies next. If you think you already know what these creatures really are, drop it in the comments now, because the next thing Jack sees underwater answers it, and the answer isn't an animal. The crew keeps descending through white water and tight drops, and they start finding things that aren't theirs. Tanks, rope, a wrecked camp, all of it 30 years in the water and still down here. This is the crew that broke in from the Abbey 30 years ago. Whatever happened to them? None of them ever got back out. Nobody says the obvious part out loud, that they're tracing a dead crew's path toward a dead crew's ending. When Nikolai loses his grip on a wet ledge, the current has him before anyone can move. It drags him under and downstream, and his screaming carries back up the passage. Jack dives after the sound. He swims down through the churn until he can see it, a creature with Nikolai in its grip, hauling him deeper. Then Jack gets close enough to see the creature's hand and the letters tattooed across the back of it. So the crew from all those years ago never left. parasite took them, reshaped them, and kept them down here in the dark. That tattoo is the last human mark on one of them, an initial from the man he used to be. The first clear look at one of them explains the carvings up in the abbey. It's tall and strangely formed, built for the dark, with wings that fold flat against the rock it climbs. It moves like it owns the cave, and it doesn't rush, because nothing down here can outrun it. Jack comes up from that dive changed. His pupils have narrowed to slits. He sees in the black better than any of the others now, and he hears movement through solid rock. The same thing that made the creatures has started making him, and every face around him knows it. That's when the crew starts to come apart. Some of them look at Jack and see the man who's kept them alive this far. Others look at him and see what's chasing them, wearing a friend's face. Tyler defends his brother. The rest aren't sure anymore whose orders are Jack's, and whose belong to the thing growing inside him. The hard truth is that the change is keeping them alive. Jack hears the creatures coming before they arrive. He finds routes in the dark the others would have walked right past, so the crew can't afford to lose him, and they can't trust him, and both of those get truer by the hour. Jack tells them the only way out now is up, through a shaft in the cave roof. The climber goes first, because she's the best they have, and she won't send anyone up a wall she hasn't tested herself. She works up the rock while the others watch from below. Near the top, a winged creature comes out of a gap she couldn't see. She fights it off the harness with a knife, then sets the creature on fire, and it falls away dead. But she falls too. The crew watches the whole thing and can't reach her in time to change it. For a moment, the crew just stops, spent in the dripping dark. Tyler stays close to his brother and watches him listen to sounds no one else can hear. He can see Jack going somewhere he can't follow. He keeps a hand on Jack's shoulder anyway, because letting go feels like giving up on him. The crew is smaller every time they stop to count. The sonar man first, then the scout's nerve, then Nikolai in the water, now the climber on the wall. Each one who goes takes a skill the others still need. The cave seems to know the order to take them in, and it doesn't seem to be in any hurry to finish. Jack, Tyler, and Top break off from the others and push through into a chamber, and the floor of it is made of people. Human bones stacked and scattered, far more than one crew could leave. This isn't where a few explorers died. It's a battlefield. It's the exact scene carved into the abbey walls high above them. Armored knights against winged things. And this chamber is where that fight ended. People sealed this cave on purpose centuries ago to trap what lived inside it. The abbey up top wasn't built over the entrance by accident. It was built to be a lid. The carvings weren't decoration. They were a warning nobody survived to pass on. Past the bones, the cave finally shows a way out. A flooded passage with daylight at the far end. But the crew is in two pieces now, and the other half doesn't know the exit is there. So Tyler turns back into the dark to bring them. He gets to them too late for the scout, who dies, buying the others a few seconds to run. When the survivors finally gather at the passage, the creatures have already been there ahead of them. The rebreathers are gone. The one piece of gear that makes the long underwater swim survivable has been carried off, and the things that took it knew exactly what it was for. So the exit is right in front of them, and they can't use it. They make the run anyway. Catherine, Tyler, Top, and the cameraman break for the water together. Then a creature drops out of the dark onto the cameraman, and he's gone before he reaches the surface. That leaves three at the water's edge, and it leaves Jack, who's barely Jack anymore. He puts himself between the creatures and the last of his crew. Then he brings the roof down on the whole chamber, on the creatures, and on himself. And the collapse buys the other three the seconds they need to go under. It is the last thing the man does with a human mind. Tyler couldn't save his brother, and now the rock has taken him. Jack is buried with the creatures he was turning into. Top, Tyler, and Catherine swim the flooded passage on one held breath and follow the cold current until it breaks open into daylight. They surface into an ordinary afternoon, sun and open air, as if nothing under that mountain ever happened. 8 people went down into the cave. 3 walk out of it. Some time later, Tyler meets Catherine at a table outside a cafe, back in the ordinary world. He asks, could Jack have survived up here, on the surface, changed the way he was? Catherine tells him she used to believe the parasite could only live underground. She doesn't believe that anymore. She thinks it wanted out. And for a second, you catch her eyes. The pupils are narrowed to slits, the same change that took Jack and the creatures below. Catherine isn't just a survivor who got lucky. She was the way out for the parasite. It spent centuries locked under a mountain. It finally found the one host that could carry it into a crowd. A scientist calm enough to walk past you, smart enough to hide what she is, and already gone. The cave held the parasite for centuries. It was never a prison, it was a waiting room, and Catherine was the way out. Underneath the monster movie, the cave is about contamination dressed up as discovery. Nikolai comes to name a new world and claim it. What he actually does is prop open a door that people died to keep shut. The film's real subject is the arrogance of the expedition itself. The assumption that anything you can reach is yours to bring back up. Some things are buried on purpose. The people who sealed this cave were warning whoever came next not to disturb it. The cave came out in 2005, directed by Bruce Hunt on a budget of around $30 million. The reviews were unkind. What the budget did buy is on the screen, in a way modern creature films rarely bother with. Much of the underwater work was shot for real, in a purpose-built tank, with the cast actually submerged. The creatures were brought to life with suit work and practical effects, rather than a weightless digital monster. That's part of why they still feel like they have mass all these years later. The cave had the bad luck to open the same year as The Descent, which did the trapped in a cave nightmare with more teeth and took the attention. The cave got the rougher reviews and the smaller name, but it was reaching for something the better remembered film wasn't. It fused a flooded cave survival story with an old sealed evil legend, knights and demons, and a lid dropped over a hole in the world. And it built genuine underwater diving into a creature feature at a time when the easy path was to fake all of it. If you'd like to watch more creature feature recaps, just click this link on screen. Thanks for watching.